This is the story of the woman yelling at a cat, also known as Taylor Armstrong, a prominent figure from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She's the woman yelling at the cat, but why does she do that exactly? Her life has been shaped by early experiences of abuse, growing up without a father figure. Even during her marriage, she found herself in a violent relationship where her husband threatened to end her life. Taylor lived in constant fear, a fear she didn't easily share with others. Despite her hesitation, she eventually confided in a few trusted individuals to unburden her heart about the extreme violence of her spouse. At a party, during a vulnerable moment with another woman, Taylor's abuse was revealed. This caused significant upheaval as it would drastically impact her marriage. The last time her ex-husband attacked her was on her own birthday, breaking her eye socket, and she now has a titanium implant supporting her right eye. There was a risk she could have completely lost her eye. In the chaos of that revelation and the emotional reactions, the famous meme was born. Taylor first encountered this meme in 2019 after someone sent it to her, and it quickly appeared all over the internet. Although she initially didn't understand why the cat was in the meme, she soon saw the creative expressions of it. Despite the fact that the meme originated from one of the most traumatic moments in her life, it doesn't bother her. For Taylor, her life from back then seems like that of someone else, far in the past. She now considers the meme something hilarious. Today, Taylor is dedicated to helping victims and survivors. She shares her story through public speeches, especially at colleges and universities. She believes this is the stage where young people have the opportunity to step away from the protection of their parents and make their own choices. With her experience, she hopes to help others make the right decisions and avoid ending up in situations of abuse. Next on the list is success kid Sam Griner. This all began in 2007 when they went to the beach. His mother had just received a new camera and wanted to take some pictures of her little one and the family. At that time, Sam was 11 months old, and he wanted to eat a handful of sand, as babies often do. At the right moment, his mother took the photo, believing it to be a cute shot. Little did they know, this photo would change their lives. After she posted the photo online, it received about 300 likes on the first day. Initially not paying much attention to it, within a year, she started encountering the photo more frequently online. Soon, a photoshopped child appeared in the background with the caption "I hate sandcastles." The parents were concerned that the photo might generate negative memes. However, a meme with a green and blue background and the caption "Success Kid" emerged. They hoped this version would embody the essence of the photo, considering Sam was born prematurely and underwent brain surgery at 6 weeks old. The label "Success Kid" seemed fitting. The photo circulated the entire internet, appearing in advertisements, a Super Bowl commercial, Obama's White House, and newspapers worldwide. It conveyed a positive message to the world. For Sam, dealing with the success has always been challenging. He often enjoys it, but sometimes it becomes overwhelming. As a laid-back teenager, he doesn't dwell on a photo for which he has no conscious memories. Sam takes pleasure in creating art and listening to music. His father was also an artist who inspired him. When his father fell ill with chronic kidney disease, it had a profound impact on the family. His father needed a kidney transplant, but due to the high costs, he couldn't qualify. They came up with the idea to launch a fundraiser. Initially planning to initiate it with an ordinary photo, within the first week of posting, they exceeded their goal. People knew it was Success Kid's father, and the photo had still made an impact, prompting them to donate generously. Sam is now at an age where life decisions must be made. His goal is to create something that inspires people just as much as Success Kid does. Next on the list is perhaps the most famous of them all. The distracted boyfriend meme is possibly one of the most recognizable internet photos ever, and that's exactly why it deserves a place on this list. What many people don't know is that the idea behind this picture isn't new at all. The image of a man turning his head toward another woman while his partner looks on in anger has existed for more than a century. Back in the days of silent films, comedians like Charlie Chaplin used these kinds of scenes to humorously show jealousy and temptation. It's a universal human moment, something everyone can relate to, in any time period. In 2015, Spanish photographer Antonio Guillem decided to capture that exact feeling. He often worked with the same 3 models, and for this particular shoot, he wanted to create a series of images about temptation and infidelity. They chose a sunny street in Girona, Catalonia, and the direction was simple. A young man walks hand in hand with his girlfriend, but turns his head to look at another woman passing by. The entire photo session lasted barely 10 minutes. Dozens of versions were taken in different poses, but one photo stood out. It was uploaded to a stock photo website under the title, "Disloyal Man Walking with His Girlfriend and Looking Amazed at Another Seductive Girl." Then, for 2 years, it quietly sat there among thousands of other stock images. Until 2017. 2 years later, the photo suddenly resurfaced on social media, but this time with text. Someone had added captions to show how people often get distracted by something new, while ignoring what they already have. And from that moment, everything exploded. Within days, the photo spread everywhere, translated, remade, and repurposed into endless variations. The distracted boyfriend meme became a universal language for distraction, a modern version of an age-old joke. The photographer himself discovered it through his son and couldn't believe how big it had become. The models suddenly found themselves world famous, seeing their faces appear in news stories, political campaigns, and even art exhibits. And although they had no control over how the image was used, they've learned to look back with humor and pride. What began as a simple stock photo evolved into an icon of the internet, an image everyone understands, without a single word. And that's exactly the power of the distracted boyfriend meme. A timeless human moment, translated perfectly into the digital age. Next on the list is Bad Luck Brian, one of the first real faces of the internet. A guy who accidentally became world famous with a single photo. His real name is Kyle Craven, and back in 2007 he was just a regular high school kid. Not a great student, but definitely the class clown. He loved pulling pranks, like filling a piñata with vegetables instead of candy, just to see everyone's reaction. But on picture day, Kyle saw his chance to pull off his best prank yet. He went to a thrift store, bought an old-fashioned sweater vest, rubbed his face red and puffy, and gave the camera the most awkward grin he could manage. The photographer laughed, but his school principal wasn't amused. She made him retake the picture. Luckily, before handing it in, Kyle had scanned the original photo and saved it on his computer. A few years later, in 2012, his friend Ian decided to upload it to Reddit as a joke with the caption, "He takes his driving test and immediately gets arrested." Within days, it exploded. Everyone recognized something in Bad Luck Brian, that guy who just can't catch a break. Kyle had no idea what was happening until Ian called him one night and said, "Hey, not a big deal, but I made you internet famous." 2 weeks later, his face was everywhere, on Reddit, Facebook, even on t-shirts sold in Hot Topic and Walmart. His mom found out when a student at her school walked around wearing a Bad Luck Brian shirt. When she asked who it was, the kid said, "That's Bad Luck Brian." That's when Kyle realized the joke had become something much bigger. His family got in touch with a lawyer to keep some control, but Kyle never took it too seriously. He always said, "If people are laughing, that's good enough for me." Over the years, he appeared in commercials for Volkswagen and McDonald's, on skateboards, in board games, and even in a museum in Switzerland. He met other meme legends like Overly Attached Girlfriend, and even Snoop Dogg. Ironically, in real life, Kyle says he actually has great luck. He wins sweepstakes, scratch-off tickets, and bingo games all the time. As he puts it himself, "I'm actually the luckiest guy the first know." Today, he lives a quiet life away from the spotlight, but his story remains special. A story that began with one awkward smile, and became one of the most recognizable faces on the internet. Bad Luck Brian proves that even bad luck can bring a little bit of good fortune, as long as you can laugh about it. Next up is Disaster Girl, one of the most iconic faces on the internet. It all started back in 2005. 5-year-old Zoe Roth was at home with her family when they heard fire sirens. Curious, they stepped outside and saw smoke rising just a few blocks away. Her dad, Dave, had just bought a new camera and decided to check it out. In front of them, a house was on fire. What Zoe didn't know was that it was a controlled burn. The owners had donated their home to the fire department for training. While firefighters calmly walked around and even let kids help spray water, her dad lifted his camera and said, "Okay Zoe, give me a smile." That smile, innocent yet mischievous, became the photo the world now knows as Disaster Girl. 3 years later, her dad entered the picture into a photo contest for JPEG magazine, themed emotion capture. The image won, and before long, it was everywhere online. People started photoshopping her grin into every catastrophe imaginable. The Hindenburg, the dinosaurs' extinction, the atomic bomb, even Hitler. Always calm, always smiling in front of chaos. Some versions made her uncomfortable, but mostly Zoe found it funny. She knew it was a joke, not who she really was. Still, growing up with your childhood face attached to the world's disasters was strange. Years later, in 2021, Zoe decided to take control. She and her dad turned Disaster Girl into an NFT, a digital version of the image, and sold it for over $500,000. She used the money to pay off student loans and donate to charity. Today, Zoe works at S&P Global as a researcher focused on smart city technology and innovation. She also speaks at tech conferences and jokes that she hopes Disaster Girl will someday move off page one of her Google results. But that seems unlikely, because one smile, captured in 2005, still lives on, as proof that one simple photo can become internet history.
So, did you start fire?
Yes.
Did you enjoy this video? Don't forget to leave a like, and make sure to check out actresses who suddenly disappeared from Hollywood. In that one, we'll dive into the mysterious stories of famous actresses who once dominated the spotlight, but suddenly vanished from it completely.